like I said, we had to shrink this down because I didn't have a bigger canvas as I thought. This is a 4x12. Normally I do my gnomes on a 6x12, but such is life. It just didn't happen that way. So I made do. I just took my old tracer and made it into a smaller version, and we're gonna work with it. So I am going to just put a little tape because I got my menopause fan blowing. So I'm gonna put a little tape. Look, I'm using my tape as a coaster. I got a wonderful wine sippy cup in the mail from one of my members today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Judy. But I didn't have time to clean it, so I'm going to have to hopefully use my tape for my coaster to keep from spilling, and hopefully I won't make a mess. So I'm just going to tape down. I know it's, let me see if I can go up a little so that you can see the whole project instead of, I know it's crazy for being wiggly, but I want to make sure you can see the whole thing because I'm notorious for not paying attention to what you see or don't see. See, that's worse, isn't it? That is worse. Nope. Okay, hang on. I want you to be able to see the whole project because I won't move it. I'm crazy that way. 2 menopause fans. I need 5 menopause fans. 5. That's how many I need. Okay, we're going to work with this. We'll figure it out. I don't know why it's acting this way. Let me see. I think that's a little better. Oh, I'm sorry, but this this tripod thingy is on crack or something. A little bit more, and then we're going to go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trace this, but here's the thing I wanted to show you about this tracer, okay? It is, notice how his hat is pointing this way, or her, it's his hat. Excuse me, let me take a sip of my wine. Woo. Mm-hmm. That's me, Tracy. If I went to bed before midnight, it's because I'm sick. So because it's kind of pointing this way and there's really more space over here, I think I'm going to change it and we'll turn it this way a little because we're going to make this like a little witch's hat or warlock or whatever you want to call him. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and trace just some of his body, his shoes, his beard, his head, and then I'll move his hat this way. But before we do, we have 2 options for what he is going to hold. So we're either going to do a pumpkin or a sunflower. I'm going to do his hat black with orange dots. We're going to do a little patch. And he's either going to be holding a pumpkin or a sunflower, and I can't decide. So while I'm tracing, y'all argue amongst yourselves, and then we will, when I look up after I'm done tracing, whatever I see first, turn that fan away. Whatever I see is what we'll do because I don't want to decide. I want somebody else to decide for me. So y'all discuss amongst yourselves and then I will see what was decided. So pumpkin or sunflower, I'm going to go ahead and trace the rest real quick. Where's my stylus? I'm going to trace the rest and then I'll look up and see what we got. So I'm going to start with his little feetsies. And make sure we're straight. So I'm going to trace his feet. Whoop. Whoop. So we'll do his hats. And I'm being very careful not to press my hand too hard into my canvas so that I don't leave black marks because I already painted it white. But we are going to add a little more color to it. So we're just going to add his little beard. It kind of runs off the edges a little, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Sometimes you have to adjust. You have to pivot. Pivot. You have to pivot. So I'm going to go ahead and do his hat. I'm going to do it up to here because I want to turn it the other way. We're going to put a little patch on him. So I'm just going to, whoops, Probably messed that up, but we'll work it out. I'm just going to go back this way. And we're gonna make his little hat. Right there. Okay, what are we doing? Pumpkin, sunflower, pumpkin, sunflower, pumpkin. Okay. Well, it's not painted yet, so that's why. Next comment wins. Pumpkin. Pumpkin it is. Okay, we're going to do a pumpkin. So we're going to sketch on the pumpkin. Maybe we'll put a little sunflower on his hat or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do another one tomorrow with a sunflower. Can't have enough gnomes running around your house. Because I have enough of these canvases. Okay, so I think we got that. Let me look before I pull my tape. Oh, look at him. Super cute. Super cute. Super, super cute. Okay, so we have our little man traced out, our little gnome. I'm going to turn it a little bit so you can see everything here. Hang on. Whew, I gotta turn my fan back around. So we're just gonna get started. Now I am going to paint his beard first because that's kind of the lightest color. And I'm gonna do white and black. So I'll do white first. I'll paint his beard white. And then we'll add a little bit black in there just to make it gray. So instead of using gray, we're just going to mix the colors because I like to add the white first anyway. So let's get busy. Okay, so I've got a brush. I'll flow the water. So I'm going to go in with my paint and I'm just going to start adding in a little bit of white. I'm going to go around his little nose. Not going to be too particular because we could always come back and fix that. That's making my paint dry. So we're just going to kind of work around this pumpkin. I'm not going to worry about it too much, kind of like with the nose, because we can fix it if we get out of line. All right, that side. So I'm just really putting a wet coat down is kind of what I call this. I want to do gray. I want to do his beard gray. And so I'm just putting some white down and then I'll just drag in a little black to make his beard gray. These canvases are super porous, so they are grabby when it comes to paint. Let's see. Can't decide if I'm hot or not. So let's just add white. Okay, so I'm going to dip my brush just a teeny, teeny, teeny bit into that black, and then I'm going to just rub it into my brush. And I'm going to come back and just, that was a little excessive. Didn't want it to be quite that dark. We'll add some more white in if we need to. So we'll get right up next to his hat and we'll just pull in that beard. We're going to detail it afterwards too, so we're not going to stress about it too terrible much, about how it looks, because we're going to come back with my favorites little detailing pen and fix up anything that needs fixing. So, woohoo! He's gonna be so cute. I just feel it. I love gnomes, and it's like it's like I have to do a gnome for every season. I did Christmas gnomes, I did Easter gnomes last year, or this year, who knows what year it is anymore. I love gnomes for the holidays. There's no place like gnome for the holidays, right? That was cheesy. I know. You don't have to tell me. super cheesy. I can be cheesy sometimes. It's all right. It's late. It's the bewitching hour. I did do Valentine's gnomes. I sure did. Gnome for every season. All right, we're not going to worry too much about that. I am going to add just a tiny bit more black in a couple of spots just to bring in a little bit of color here and there. And then if we need to come back and highlight it a little with something, we will. Okay, so while we have our black out, I am going to go. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be so cute. We did do one with beard glass. I think that one was a Christmas gnome, was it? I think that one was Christmas, and he was kind of short and fat. So I'm going to take my black, and I'm going to paint his hat, the hat, because his, ooh, got my hand in it. I'm going to flip upside down real quick so I don't get messy. We're going to paint his hat black, the top of his hat, or the whatever you call that portion of his hat. We're going to do orange, and then we're going to do some orange dots or patches or something on his hat too. Maybe a sunflower. We'll cover up that patch, and maybe we'll do a sunflower. We can do whatever we want, right? We sure can. I know you're upside down, but it's just easier for me to do this way. I'll flip it back up in just a second, I promise. I know it's hard to see. Ooh. I'm glad to see that I'm not the only night owl out there in the world. Most of my friends are like probably already in bed. Well, I had dinner with my sister and I said, I gotta go, got another live. And she was like, what? I said, yeah, I have a live at 9. It is just Anita's craft paint, black. I said, I have a live at 9. And she said, I'll be in bed. I'll be a bit. Yeah, Katrina, I guess all gnomes are short and fat. This one was just shorter and fatter, maybe. Yeah, she's like, I'll be in bed. I was like, well, not me. I wouldn't be in bed if I wasn't doing a live. I'd either be painting or I would be working on business computer stuff, scheduling, or I'd be watching the ID channel. Me too, Betty. My best work after 10 p.m. 100%. So let me finish up this little hat. I'm going to have to get a little bit of a smaller brush to get in there. Let me see what I got over here. I got the perfect brush. We'll get that little pointed hat. So this is just a long point, like a liner. It's spectacular. I'm trying to take care of these brushes because I'm notorious for knots. But, you know, it is what it is. I have brushes that are 20 or 30 years old too, though, so. Because I don't throw anything away. All right, check it out. All right, I think we're gonna, he was totally fun. It sold, Katrina sold one of the glass beard gnomes and she said minutes. That is so awesome, Katrina. He was cute and super fun to make. Pretty sure it was Christmas. So we'll probably make another one because, you know, it's Christmas coming. Okay, so this looks pretty good, pretty solid. I see one little issue right here. I see a pencil line. for my markers. So there we go. So now I am going to, well, I have black. We're going to do his shoes black. So let me, oh my God, the ID channel I'm addicted to. Oh. Dom, the doors close at on Friday at midnight. But let me show you this. If you join tonight before midnight, this is your free workshop. And it is worth getting in a few days early if you can. So we have a bonus workshop. It's a pumpkin on a pedestal. And it's only good till midnight tonight. So if you don't join till Friday, you won't get it. And then you're going to be sad. I'll be sad for you. So I'm going to paint his shoes real quick. His little black shoes. Maybe we'll put, I should have done his shoes before I did his beard, but that's okay. We'll work it out. Let me get this where you can actually see what I'm doing. It's, oh, I thought you were talking to me. So I'm going to get the tips and then we'll work it into that beard. So this is just solid black, craft store paints. All right, so I'm going to flip him again and try to get him into the beard a little. And then if we have to alter the beard, we'll do that. It's no big deal. I'm sure we'll have to. It's okay, it needs some work anyway. So we'll fix that when it's time. All right, so there's his shoes, sorta. ID channel, Amy, is investigation discovery. It's like murder mystery, real life story kind of stuff. It is like my guilty pleasure. And I love it so much, I can't even stand it. All right, so I'm gonna do, look at this orange. Do you think I need a brighter orange or do you think this will be okay? I think that'll be okay. Let's try it. If we need a brighter orange, we'll do a second coat. I do not paint the sides, Karen. Unless if it's a big piece of art that I'm taking to an art show, and if it's dark, I will take it to the sides, or what I'll do is paint either a white or a gray or a black around the edges. So it really depends on what it is, but small things like this, I don't paint the sides. All right, so I'm gonna put some orange on his little hat band. Yeah, I think this will work. Probably not the best brush to be using, but we're using it, so we're going to use it. Tis what it is. It's got orange paint on it now. It's on. All right, let's get over here. All right. Getting there. All right, for his nose and his hands, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the orange pumpkin, then we'll do his nose and hands. And I'm gonna use like a peachy color for that. Let's go ahead and, should have let that dry. I'm trying not to get my hands in all the paint. So yeah, we are having so much fun this launching our membership site this time. I mean, there are so many people. We had so many people in the Sunflower Challenge, and it was so much fun. And we have so many new people who are joining us into our Shattered Circle family. And I say family, and I mean it, because we are a little art family. It is such a wonderful group of people. Wonder where Richard is tonight, guys. I started to say a group of women, but we do have Richard. Yes. Yes, Susan. Great minds think alike. So let's get our little pumpkin in. We were trying to decide between a sunflower and a pumpkin. So we decided on, or I guess I decided. We chatted amongst ourselves and decided on the pumpkin, but I think we'll do a sunflower one tomorrow, and we won't do it so orangey blacky. We'll do it more in fall colors and not like Halloween. So we'll do another one tomorrow, and we'll just make it hold in a sunflower and make it a little more fall colors instead of Halloween. I just repeated myself completely. That's how overtired I am. I didn't go to bed till so late last night. I just could not turn my brain off. It was on 90 to nothing. Sandra, if you're having trouble logging in, please email us, okay? I can't do anything over the live, but if you'll email me at info@theshatteredcircle.com, we will get you taken care of, okay? So anybody that's having a problem logging on, or finding your way around or whatever, email us at info@theshatteredcircle.com. I'm going to use a tiny bit of yellow in my pumpkin. So let's see. I'm going to just kind of follow that curve. Yeah, it's because our group is so awesome, Katrina. I'm telling you, it is the best group in the community. I need some brown. Let's see, brown. Umber, burnt umber, raw umber. Give it a little shading. What is happening here? Do you see that? That drives me crazy. That old big old booger, paint booger is what I call it. So I'm going to add a little bit. Just a line. I'm not trying to do anything too fancy for the shading. Nothing too fancy at all. Just to show, just to kind of make it pop a little. I think. All right, just added a little something here and there. I think I need one more little line though. It looks a little bare here. Whoops, not that big, Cindy. All right, now let's do our stem. That is awesome. I might need to start going live at 9 o'clock every day. There's a lot of us little night owls out there. I'm telling you, this is my hour. This is my time. This is when I am on like Donkey Kong. All right, we'll rinse that off. He's starting to come together. Katrina says the Shattered Circle is the best club since Mickey Mouse. I love it. Cheers to you, babe. All right. I almost choked myself. We'll get a little bit of white on just the very tip of my brush. And just come in and add a little something to that pumpkin. It kind of makes it pop a little, just adding a little bit of color there. So now I'm going to use this color here. It's Cool Bisque. It's kind of a peachy color, like a skin tone. Wendy, it's a 4x12. So I'm going to fill in his little nosy rosy. Little skin tone colored nose. We'll add some highlights, make it look real. Because he, ugh. Ugh. All right, let's do his hands. Gotta be holding that pumpkin. Now when I highlight skin tones, I like to use like a red, and I use a red, but I make it kind of a pinky color, and a white. So what we'll do is, while it's wet, I'm gonna get a tiny bit of this brick red. We used this yesterday. Ugh. Look at that again, look at that, see? What's going on here? What is happening? Hate those things. I'm gonna get a tiny bit of red, just the tiniest, tiniest, tiniest bit. And I am going to highlight his nose on one side, like right here, with just a little bit of that red right into the wet. And I know it's hard to see, but it really makes a difference, trust me. I'm going to do it again on his hands. Okay, so right here where it kind of comes close to the pumpkin, just a little tinge of red. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side with white. So I'll just get a little bit of white on my little fella, on my little brush. And we're going to come back over here and highlight that opposite side. I don't know what just happened. Opposite side of his nose and the opposite side of his hand. So just a little color to make it pop. That wasn't quite enough. There we go. There we are. Okay, so before let me see. His nose looks good, his pumpkin looks good, his hands look good, his beard needs work. We need to do a little something here because I messed that up. The hat see, dagnabbit. I did this. Where's my thing? I did this earlier today. What the heck, man? Hang on. Where is my water? Clean water. Y'all, I done lost my mind. Hang on, I gotta get this off. We are going to paint the background with a little bit of a yellow, but this is black, so I want to try to get as much off as I can. So I'm just using a clean paintbrush and water. When I make boo-boo, just try to paint it off. Gosh, I dropped my paintbrush earlier today when I was painting that pine cone. I totally dropped my paintbrush onto my art piece and messed it up. But we also fixed that. Okay, so let's just keep going. So what I was gonna say is our hat looks really good, but it does need a little bit of shading before I do the dots. And what I want to shade is where the hat bends here, okay? So if the hat is bending, there's gonna be a highlight or a shade, a shadow. And it's hard to shadow black, so we're just going to highlight. So I'm going to take a flat brush. I'm going to dip just the corner into my paint. And I'm going to come up here and on this underside of the hat, I'm going to make a white shadow line or highlight line right there. I'll kind of add a little there too. Hang on. So then it kind of makes it where you can tell the hat is bent and not just not just a solid color. So I think, yeah, I can't decide, Wendy, if we want to put let's put a patch. We're going to do green. We'll do a green patch because we got a lot of orange already. So we'll put a little bit of green. Thanks for reminding me. And we're just going to make a little, I got way too much water in my brush. We'll make him a little patch right here. There we go. And then we'll let that dry for a few minutes. And I think what we'll do is I'm gonna do another quick coat of orange on his little hat right here. Just really quick because I want to add some more color to it. So let's just throw on some of the orange. This is persimmon. And I'm going to get a little bit of white on the corner. I'm going to show you just a little tiny bit of white right on the corner of my brush. And then I'm going to offload it. I'm going to do it over here on this black so you can see. I'm going to offload, and what that does is creates a blend instead of a hard line. And we're going to put that line right up here on the top of the hat band. I think we need a little bit more. Right on the top. Cute, cute, cute. All right. While we're just waiting on things to dry, I think I'm going to take a little bit of brown and do the same thing. Just a smidge down here. Just add a little bit of shadow right on the bottom. Right anywhere we want. Okay, green is still wet. Okay, this is done. I guess while we are waiting on this to dry, let's go ahead. We're gonna take the orange, and we are, thank you, Wilson. We'll get you taken care of, hon. It's a new site. All the old members are still on our original site, and we have a new site, so we're kind of working as we go too, and then next week we're going to be transitioning all the old members on, so it's a process, but we will get you taken care of, so don't worry. So I'm going to take the end of my paintbrush, okay? Just the end. Actually, I'm going to get a bigger one. I want a big old fatty. Let me see what I got. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. This is a big old paintbrush, so it's got a big old fat end. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to dip it into the orange, and then I'm going to give him dots. Dot, 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 dot. I got a teeny dot there too, but we are going with it. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to stress out about it at all. All right, there's our dots, and I love them. While we're at it, I'm going to get that smaller brush back, and I'm going to dip into the black. And watch this. Dot. Dot. Dot, dot. These aren't very good dots. There we go. There. What do you think about that? Okay, so I am going to... That green is still not dry. Green is not being very nice. Get a little bit. I'm going to add a little yellow to that, just to give it so it's not a solid color. And then, trying to see what we need to do. We do need to work on his beard a little. And I'm gonna fill in where I put my hand. Put my hand in his shoe when it was still wet. See, all over my hand. Isn't he cute? He's really starting to come together. So let's color correct down here where I messed it up, and then we'll fix the beard. We'll detail. This is not even gonna get glass, guys. I don't see any reason to put any glass on it. But tomorrow when we do the sunflower one, we'll do the sunflower with glass. And when we do that one, we'll come back to this and just put a thin layer of glass or resin over the top of him. Just to make him shiny, because I like that. Okay, so while all this is drying, I'm gonna work on the beard a little. So I'm just going to not do that. Not mess up the pumpkin while I'm at it. So how about? So I'm just going back into my white and adding some little beard strokes. And we'll add some more gray too, or black. Let's make a gray using our black and white. I can't help myself but getting all in that pumpkin. There's no matte resin. Resin is always shining. Now, when we did countertops, there is a way to make a countertop matte when you're working with resin, but it's not possible really with art because it involves a lot of sanding and then a wax coat and that sort of thing. So it's really not your best bet. Is either resin or don't resin because it's going to be shiny. All right, let's see. I'm going to go down into those shoes a little. Fix all that up. Whoops. Love him. He's so cute. He is so cute. All right. I am very happy with our gnome. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing. Everything looks good. I'm going to do one more thing because I feel like I need to add some stitching on his patch. So I'm going to use this teeny tiny little baby brush. Oh, look at that. That's like the third time this week. Teeny tiny little baby brush, and I'm going to go in to my white and just roll some white onto my brush. And I'm going to come up here and make stitches into, I think I am, hang on. Some stitches into the patch. There we go. All right, let me see. What do you think? I think he is super cute. Check him out. I'm gonna hold him this way because, you know, you can't hardly see the whole thing because of the camera setup. But he is really, really, really cute. So what's next? I'm gonna take my infamous little liner pen and I am going to do a little bit of detail work. Oh, I got paint on my glass. I need a background. Let's do a background real quick. It won't take 2 minutes because there's really not that much. So I'm gonna get some white on, what is that? What is happening? Yeah. Get a little white on our canvas. I don't know where that's coming from. It's probably because the paint's been on my palette too long. Cover up that little boo-boo I made. And I think I'm gonna do, hang on, I can't talk. I think I'll do, what do you think? Green or yellow? I think I'm gonna, let's try a little bit of yellow first, and if we hate it, we'll change to green. Oh, I kind of like this. Yellow it is. So I'm just really being kind of messy and just rubbing it into the whites. Let's come over here. Need to wet my brush a little. This is so cute. Digging it. A little bit of yellow again, just a tiny bit. I'm going to turn it this way so I can manipulate it without straining. It's hard to work backwards for me. All right. Come down here and do the yellow on around the beard. And now we'll detail. Sorry, I almost forgot. It happens. We get a little bit of black. All right. So cute. Look at him. Oh no. Bianca, it's 2 glasses in. Yeah, I love to paint with a glass of wine, but 2 glasses, yeah, you ain't painting. I ain't painting with it. I'll get messy. I'll start dropping stuff. Okay, so we're going to detail now while some of this other stuff dries. And the detail pen is a graphic 0.3 needle drawing pen. I use this all the time. It's black and it's archive quality. That's why you can use it with resin. You can't just use any marker. If you use a Sharpie and then pour resin over it, you're going to be very sad. We don't want you to be sad, so don't do it. Whatever marker you use, it either has to be an acrylic paint pen or, thanks Debbie, or it has to be a archive quality pen. Look on it and see if it says archive quality. But this is a graphic 0.3 needle drawer. Okay, and I am going to just add some details. I want to make sure I'm not getting my hand in wet. And here's what I'm talking about. I'm going to do just a couple and then I'll show you close up. So I'm going to just short strokes around the little hat. We'll go around his nose, around his beard here. Let's get the pumpkin, and then I'll show you. See how I'm not like outlining? I am just doing short strokes around and not even trying to be perfect. Do you see his nose and the pumpkin, how just those little black lines make a big difference? So I'm going to come down here and on the outside of the black shoe, I'm just going to give it a little stroke. And I'm going to also just add some strokes in his beard. And I'll show you those in just a second. All right, so see his beard, how we added that detail. So we're gonna come up here to our patch, do the same thing. We'll add some black next to the white, around, then we'll come around here and just add outside of the black on the yellow part of the canvas, just a few strokes. This, it just makes all the difference in the world to me. And it's quick and easy because I don't know if you've heard me say this 100 times or not, but I have arthritis in my hands. So sometimes my hands get super shaky, especially by this time of night. And, oh, they do need a little shine, don't they? Let's take our brush. Thank you for that. And we will just take a little white. Let me wet that. Take a little white on the corner. Just take a little bit of white on the corner. And we'll run it through back and forth. And then we'll come on the outside tip and just give him a little bit of that. And do the same on the other side. Just follow the curve of the shoe. Boom. All right, there. Thank you, Colleen. So I know this is hard to see because of the camera, but here's our cute little pumpkin gnome, and I'm just gonna let this dry. So what I'm gonna do is take just a small brush. This is plenty small right here. So I'm gonna take a small point, I'm gonna wet it, and we're gonna make just a, scoot over, Mr. Sunflower. We're gonna make just a kind of flat oval. Right here. Like a little spider body. And that's it. Not really. But we're gonna use our pen to do the rest, right? So, I'm going to draw his little spider web line. And then we'll give him 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give him legs. Is that not cute? Oh my goodness, look how cute. Look how fast that was. That's the quickest, fastest spider ever. Okay, so we are ready to resin. So now we'll do this one. Doesn't have any glass, but I like the look of the resin, so I'm gonna go ahead and just resin him too. So he looks sharp, handsome. See some debris. We'll get that out in a minute. So I'm just spreading that resin all the way to the edge. I never do my edges unless I just have to, because to me it's a waste of resin. Resin's expensive enough. Doing resin on the edges is just a waste of resin. They look nice without it. Let me hit my edges, make sure it's all the way to the end. Then I see some little debris or something in here. I'm gonna use my little skewer, and I'm just gonna roll it into that little whatever that was and get it out. I'm gonna use that, just roll in, and one more. Oh no. This has been sitting in here all night, so who knows what that was. So I'm gonna hit that one with the torch too. So we'll turn it on. And 2 seconds, really, seriously. 1, 2, done. Now I'm gonna set this one, look how cute he turned out. I'm gonna set this one on the table behind me on some blocks.